Hello my fellow gamers. With the release of Avatar Season 2 on Netflix, I figured it was high time for me to get on with my Avatar in Baldur's Gate 3 series with the next video that I hinted way back in my Creating Team Avatar video, which thank you for all the nice views and comments on, by the way. Yes, with each and every one of our Avatar heroes, we do need a guardian to be assigned, and I figured this was a great place to have a little fun and pair up our heroes with an appropriate Dream Guardian representation of some other Avatar characters that we weren't able to include in our party of 4. So today we're gonna have to assign a Dream Guardian to Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph, starting with the most controversial, of course, for the sake of retention, Katara and Zuko. That's right, Zutara shippers rejoice. Everybody else, flame in the comments, boost that engagement, thank you very much. But how are we going to translate Zuko into a Baldur's Gate 3 character? Well, simply being a guardian, we don't get to assign anything like a class or spells, so it's all about the looks. Which one of our races are best going to fit the vibe of our banished prince archetype? Zuko is a firebender, of course, so a fire-themed tiefling seems like a good choice. Asmodeus tiefling, they are the fieriest, and I know Zuko doesn't have horns, but this is more about finding a Baldur's Gate 3 vibe that fits with the character. And we know the most important thing about Zuko is the scar. Now, Baldur's Gate 3 vanilla does not have a perfect match, but this one is probably the close enough. The other thing we want to do is make sure you can see the scar, so we're gonna just lighten him up so it's a bit more visible. And I think head 3, Zuko looks like he has kind of almost golden eyes, so I think if I had to pick from the demonic yellow, but we could select a normal kind of eye. I think Topaz 2 here actually looks pretty good, and I can say Zuko kind of has the hint of a little bit of eyeliner, so maybe 40% on makeup 1. Let's go hornless for now, just so we get a clear view of the hair. And he does have really black hair, so raven black or black neutral I think works really well. And Zuko's had several different hairstyles. We've got the top ponytail, but he doesn't have the shaved rest of it. We've got short hair Zuko from his Zuko Alone arc. And then we kind of have the shaggy do of his Team Avatar redemption. So if I had to imagine this happening, it's taking place after the events of the series. The Team Avatar is transported to the world of Baldur's Gate 3. So this seems most appropriate. Plus, I like the fact that if I don't have the horns out, you can barely sort of even notice that he's a tiefling, and he's more the Zuko we know. So once again, Katara, you will be guarded by your prince, Zuko. King, Emperor, what is he at the end? Fire Lord, of course. Next up, we have my second most controversial take. Who are we gonna pair Sokka with? Of course, Suki is a member of Team Avatar at the end, and we weren't able to fit her into the main 4, just like Zuko, so it feels only right to include her with Sokka here. But I can hear some of you saying, isn't this your Dream Guardian in Baldur's Gate 3? Someone who, maybe spoilers, I don't know, sort of looks down on you from a perhaps heavenly spiritual type world, sort of. Maybe his guardian is actually the moon spirit in Princess Yue. And not just because in vanilla I don't have a good way of doing Suki's makeup right now. But don't worry, Suki fans, this is not the end for you, but you'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out. So if we're going to make Guardian Yue, I think starting off elf makes a lot of sense because I believe we made Katara part elf, and in Yue's case I feel like high elf fits her royal vibe. They are from the north, right? So if Katara was more wood elfy, then the northerners are more high elfy. I feel like I gotta go with the head 7 for Yue here. I'm feeling blush tone 5. She's got those bright blue waterbender eyes. I think I'm going with Elf Blue 1, and makeup 3 on the default probably works for her. Now her hair is going to be tricky because that is not something that we are going to have in vanilla here. We can go with the simple top bun, long hair, but she's got those braids down the back, so maybe something like this feels more appropriate. She's got her side braid and sort of a top braid bun thing going on up here, and it goes out to both sides. That's about as good as I think we're gonna get for vanilla hairstyles. And look at that, it's already all white. We could make it a little whiter. I think white 2 looks the best to my eye. And there we go, we got our Princess Yue ready to defend Sokka from her spirit realm. I think about as appropriately translated as possible in Baldur's Gate 3 Vanilla. Alright, it's time to get the obvious one out of the way. Who is our dream guardian for Aang going to be? Well, it's gotta be his spiritual guide, the main man that he talks to throughout the series, who's always appearing to him in visions. Of course, the former Avatar Roku. We're going with body type 4 because he's a big old guy, and we kind of already established Tiefling for firebenders felt appropriate. Obviously still an Asmodeus Tiefling for the fire. And Roku sort of has like a long, thin nose. I think head 4 here. And we're gonna make him just a little less red. We'll go with neutral 3. Can't really tell what his eyes are supposed to be, but the wiki says amber brown, since his eyes are glowing half the time he's on screen. So in that regard, I actually kind of like the demon style for him. This flame orange 1 looks pretty cool. I think I turned off all my mods, but demonic yellow 1 would probably be a good alternative. That's sort of amber, right? We'll go with that. Now, when we know Roku as our avatar guide, his hair is definitely all white. So, although in his case, instead of white 2, I think I'm gonna go with the ash blonde 1. It's still very white. And of course, Roku's got his long wizard beard. If I had a longer beard, I'd go with it. But for his hair, he's got a long flowing hairstyle, sort of tied back, sort of flowing. He's got that top bun too. I think this Conqueror style works pretty well for him. Just nice and long. And for the top bun, we're gonna use the horns to sort of mimic his crown here. So they kind of point straight up. I guess yellow 5 or 6 feels closest to like actually gold. Oh, we got gold tips even. Gold tip 2, I guess. And I guess there we have it. We have our guardian of Avatar Roku for Aang. Maybe not the closest. I think Judicious, the pointy beard, actually fits best for Roku, even though it's not as long as it should be. But there we go. Our version of Roku for Baldur's Gate 3. And finally, I know you've been asking, who are we gonna pair Toph up with? Well, I thought this would be the golden opportunity to include another favorite Avatar character, and while it could be Suki...
Oh, Sokka, you saved me! Mwah!
Actually, it's me.
Oh, well, you can go ahead and let me drown now.
I actually always really enjoyed Toph and Iroh's bond. He looks out for her that one time on the road when they bump into each other. So for our final guardian, we're gonna make Iroh. But unlike the other firebenders, Iroh is known as the Dragon of the West. So he should be a Dragonborn, right? Well, that was my plan, but for some reason the Dream Guardian can't be a Dragonborn. I mean, if I could choose, he would obviously be a red dragon. And I'd go with the widest head. A pointy chin would work for his beard, a royal plateau, if you will, for his ridges there. I like the look of his red 2 skin color here, and then his eyes are also supposed to be a kind of amber, so I guess flame yellow 4. I don't know, but if I have to adapt, Iroh's gotta be a dwarf. Right? He's just giving stout body energy, even when he gets all jacked. Like, this guy's giving jacked, but he's still got that stout style. And I'm just gonna go with Gold Dwarf here because it says they have good family values. Ritual, like his tea, and fine craftsmanship, like his tea. Go with Blush Tone 3, and he's got a nice bulbous wide nose. Actually quite like this head 1 for him. But we gotta make sure he is looking mature as can be. Hazelnut 3 might work out of the default colors, but let's expand. Brown 3 actually works pretty good too. I think Elf Gold 2 though is my favorite. For his hair, like a lot of people, he's got a top bun, but he also kind of looks bald sometimes, but he's always got that long back flow. So I think I'd go with this Fair Forester in the end here. And his facial hair, the pointy beard works pretty well. He actually doesn't have any upper lip facial hair, but not too many styles in the BG3 options give us that. He also sort of has that 3-point style, which maybe the goatee, but I think this one actually, the pointed retort, the little tie in the braid in the bottom of the beard. I think he feels reasonably Iroh-y, but I'm hearing you, could we do better? Well, since having this initial idea, I've gotten into the wide world of modding, which not only allows you a lot more cosmetic options, but also potentially new spells and other features that could work exceptionally well for fulfilling our Team Avatar fantasy, and even expanding your party beyond 4. So fear not, Suki fans, we just might have room for for her after all. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next video, where we'll explore new options outside of the vanilla game to make our true team avatar in Baldur's Gate 3 really shine. And if you don't want to have to wait till Avatar Season 3 for that video, please let me know by encouraging with your likes and comments. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.